Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winteregg with Matterhorn Business Development, and I want to thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below what you learned, all those good things. So today I want to talk to you more about being a CEO. We've done a number of videos about what a CEO does, etc., on this channel, and you can find them, and we'll probably have some links down below. But I want to talk to you today about why we focus on working with CEOs, or what a CEO is really responsible for in a company. Now, a lot of times, and this changes as a company gets bigger and bigger, we look at corporations like Amazon and Apple and all these things, and we sit there and we think these guys are just at the top of the organization and they have ideas, but they make the most money. And maybe that's true, and they did put a lot of work into it. This video isn't about what Jeff Bezos does as a CEO. I'm talking about a smaller business, or really just a normal family business in America with a business owner or a CEO, okay? Now, this could probably apply to other large corporations, but I'm not specializing in corporate business. This is more of a personal matter. So the CEO of a business is the one that's in charge of and responsible for everything that goes on in the business, whether it's good or bad. Now, what I tend to find with business owners is they blame the staff for everything. And what my common response is to them is, who hired that person? Who trained that person? Do you even have training materials for them to know what their jobs are? Well, they told me when I hired them, they knew how to do this. Okay, but did you verify that they knew how to do it the way you wanted it to be done? Usually the answer is no. I hire that person to do it and they're supposed to do it. Or I have to go to them and tell them to do it all the time, or I have to correct it, or I have to do these things. Well, guess what? Yes, the employee does have responsibility in that, and some employees aren't going to make it. Let's be honest. But here's the thing. A lot of CEOs would fire themselves from their own businesses too if the roles were reversed. Recently, I ran into a situation with a business owner, with a doctor, who told me that all the staff were bad, basically, is what I was getting. And the staff weren't doing their jobs. And I said, well, give me an example. And she says, well, I come in and everybody knows that this is supposed to be done by 9 o'clock. And I was there at 9:30 and the staff didn't do it. And I said, okay, who didn't do it? She said, the staff didn't do it. I said, okay, who on your staff is supposed to do it? Well, they know it's supposed to be done by 9 o'clock. So here's what I'm getting at. Nobody had ever been given that job by that person, by that boss, to do it by 9 o'clock. Because here's what I know. If you told one person, hey, Judy, by 9 o'clock, this task has to be done. So when you walk in at 8:30, from 8:30 to 9, you get this task done. That was never done. It was just my staff didn't do it. And so I had to sit there and I had to kind of look at this person. I say, well, listen, you're not making anybody responsible for it. You're making everybody responsible for it. And guess what? Your staff probably don't like working for you because you expect one thing to be done by 10 different people. And when it's not done, it's everybody's problem, not the one person's problem who was in charge of it. Now, we could sit there and say it's the staff's problem. It's not the staff's problem. It's your problem. It's you, the business owner's problem. Now, I generally lean towards the side of the boss or the owner or the business owner, etc. I get a lot of hate in my comments from people who complain about their bosses and tell me that I'm a bad boss because whatever it is, okay? I generally give the business owners the benefit of the doubt. But what I'm saying is that there are situations where employees are treated poorly and things are done poorly, and the CEO or the business owner says it's the staff member's fault. But the truth of the matter is, you as the business owner, as the CEO, set them up to fail by making it everybody's job to do something rather than one person's job or two people's job to do something. And there's a big difference there as a CEO. You have to understand you're the coach of this team. And when the team has a failing record, the coach is the first one to go. So would you fire yourself? Would your boss or your owner, if you are a coach, fire you with your performance? Well, maybe it is your fault and not the team's fault. Now, usually what I find is there's one or two bad staff members and a boss or a business owner or a CEO who doesn't know what they're doing, and the whole thing implodes on itself. But in that case, who hired these one or two bad apples? Who put them on their jobs? Who hired them and gave them materials to train to tell them to do their jobs, and then when they didn't do it, you still didn't fire them? That's your job. I meet so many small business owners who say, yeah, I've got this person and, doesn't really get along with my employees, but my customers like them, and they're the only one who knows how to do this program. program that we do. Like, okay, that's usually red flag number one for me. Because if your employees don't get along with that person and you don't get along with that person, your customers don't get along with that person, and really you're keeping that one person because you're lazy and you just don't want to go hire somebody else. So then when things explode after a couple of years of this person being there and things are terrible, you blame them for having done it, yet you kept them for 2 years. So what I'm getting at is that a business owner has to take full control and full responsibility for every employee, every mistake, everything that goes wrong that you disagree with. How did you create that? Don't sit there and say, well, my moronic employee shredded the piece of paper with all the credit card numbers on it. Okay, well, why do we have all the credit card numbers on one piece of paper, and why does that moronic employee have it? Because it sounds to me like a moron gave it to the moron who shredded it. That's where you have to look at, what did you do that created that situation? So as a business owner, as a CEO, you are responsible for every good thing that goes on in your business, and you are also responsible for every bad thing that goes on for your business. You can't sit there and take all the credit about how amazing your ideas are when they work and then blame everybody when it doesn't work. It is a team effort. You're the coach, you have employees who are your players, and you are in charge of coming up with the plays that they run and the things that they do. When it doesn't go good on the field, it's not always their fault. You did do something or made a mistake that you tried to act like never occurred. And this is something that you have to understand to be in control of your business. Now, what do I use to control my business? What do we use to control our clients' businesses? We use Metapulse.com. Why? Because Metapulse.com gives us the ability to see what each of our employees is doing. Make sure that each of our employees has the knowledge that they need to do their jobs and has an employee manual that they need with all their roles defined and statistics defined. And that's what you should be using to have more control over your business as a CEO. So be sure you go down below, check out Metapulse.com. They are channel sponsors and partners. We love working with them, and we work with all of our clients through their platform to make sure that they can control their business and be as good of a CEO as possible. Check them out, and if you need any other help, let us know in the comments down below. We'll reach out to you and we'll take care of you.